Good morning. Seems it falls to people like me to stoop and lower themselves to the level of politics, to that is to explain the inherently corrupt nature of politics. In an attempt to keep the peace in the land between these rivaling factions. Oftentimes I feel like I am standing in the middle of some train tracks, and there's two freight trains um, going in opposite directions, and I'm trying to hold them together. That's how ridiculous and just sort of overwhelming the odds seem at times uh, for the pursuit of true freedom and a voluntary society. So we had this huge selection the other day, or election the other day, because as FDR said, presidents are selected, not elected. And I know so many people in the liberal camp are losing their heads right now, wondering why and how this could have happened. That Trump could get elected or selected again, and the reasons are the rhetoric of the last 4 years of the Democrats. It's and here's where I will begin to stoop to the level of explaining the political gambit. It's not because everyone who's a Republican is inherently racist and sexist. It's honestly because people are struggling to put food on the table. People can't afford groceries. People can't afford gas. The economy. While liberals are focused on existential problems of global warming or misaligned views on gender, stuff like that, there are much more immediate problems that are facing most Americans, and to not be focused on those honestly to the average working class person, it makes you look like a elitist aristocrat. So that might have something to do with it. And on the other hand, this is not a defense of Trump, because I and others like me understand that, to quote the Kybalion. Again, you need to read this book. Everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This is the fifth Hermetic principle of rhythm. And what this means is everything bad that happened in the last 4 years, you can expect an equally bad portion to happen the next 4 years, just in a different way. Because to quote the fourth Hermetic principle, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. So, everything is dual, everything has its poles. What this means is politics has its poles, obviously. But like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. It's these seeming disparate camps of politics are actually two wings of the same bird, two sides of the same coin. So, for all of the Trump supporters out there who are rejoicing right now and think that we have staved off a communist coup, I just want to say, we're not out of the weeds here. This is a Trojan horse candidate that has come in. All you have to do is look at his rhetoric from the past, from the time he was in office, and you will see that he talks really big on freedom, but he's not a libertarian candidate in any sense. He escalated wars. He banned bump stocks. He instigated Operation Warp Speed, and he furthered the decline of the economy with printing stimulus checks. In my opinion, he is the good cop of the situation. They put someone like Kamala out there who, just sounds like a raving communist to most people, and they put Trump there as a pressure release valve, basically, playing the role of the good cop. And if the American people are at the interrogation table, Kamala is there like the bad cop, holding your feet to the fire of communism, and Trump's there like gonna give you he'll give you a cup of coffee and so that you'll talk, but it's all to to get you to incriminate yourself, and ultimately he is planning on betraying you. And that's the other thing, is this election happens during the season of Scorpio, which the core wound of is betrayal. So, like, it's all by design that half of the voting population will feel like they have been betrayed. But why are we even discussing right versus left when we know it's a trap? Government is inherently immoral, and slavery. Voting is inherently immoral and is an attempt to choose a slave master for someone else. If you haven't seen Larkin Rose's masterpiece of a film, The Jones Plantation, I highly recommend you do that, because it's an incredible allegory displaying how modern politics is no different from well, it's using the analogy of a slave plantation during the antebellum South as an allegory for modern politics, showing how politics is just slavery. We're not out of the weeds. You will be betrayed. Mark my words.